Hello, welcome to another Neo Raiding cast. As always, my name is Johno, and I'm joined for this video by James. How you doing, James?
Yeah, great.
And today we're going to be watching the second elimination round from the BABW finals, which was an invite-only 32-person tournament, for which the winner would earn a trip to Worlds to represent the Brit, to be another Brit to represent the Brits at Worlds. On the left-hand side, we have 2014 UK national champion Dave Hoyland. And the
He's
right
already
side,
been to Worlds, Johnny.
I know he has. And on the right hand side we have Joey, who's won some stuff, but he's not national champion, is he? So this is going to be a tough matchup straight away.
He's a strong player.
He's a very good player, yeah. And I furnished him the map for this because Dave was representing NetRunners.co.uk, so I felt that we should have both the mats available.
Friendly rivalry between the two channels.
Yeah, that's right. So now Dave's playing NEH. That's quite unusual for Dave.
He played it at Worlds in 2014.
Okay.
But yes, I don't think it's his favourite style of play.
But at the very least, I think this is a quite interesting NEH deck. Joe's playing Noise. That's not unusual for Joey.
Not in the slightest.
Okay, so now Dave's opening was to install in a remote with a Quandary. As we see Joe install a Parasite. What do we suspect this is before he gets revealed?
I don't know. Maybe it's a snare?
He might have been trying to draw out parasites.
It might be an Astro, I mean.
It's profiteering, okay, but he was possibly tempted to try and rush out an agenda behind a Quandary. Now, profiteering may be all he had, but profiteering is an interesting agenda choice.
This just says that you're on the kill strategy straight away.
Because it gives you infinite money, and I mean, 3 bad pub is pretty bad for traditional NEH. Got lots of assets, that kind of thing. You don't want to.
Hilariously,
stuff for free.
Nowadays you can 24/7 at profiteering.
You can. This is
money.
before the 24/7 apocalypse, so that's not possible at this point.
That card's been wonderful for the messaging.
Yeah. So Dave he's lost profiteering, but is he going to feel? I don't know, hard done by. It's worth mentioning. I should mention this. He did mulligan, so I mean, it's possible he's slightly flooded. Would you expect more HQ pressure from Joey, given that he mulliganed and there's no ice?
Well, Joey runs ice over HQ whether R&D is open or not. So yes, I do. I would expect some more HQ pressure from Joey.
We saw. You can see he's got an imp in hand. In fact, so we might see if he also suspects kill, which he may well do. As we see more money for Dave, making that more likely. He might install the imp, I suppose, and try and trash some pieces.
I mean, that's this kind of Noise deck's only hope against the kill strategy generally. Well, that or disrupt the kill pieces by mills.
Yeah, so
I don't think Joey was running iPad worse. So.
No, I don't think so either. I don't actually remember on the day, and it was a long time ago now. This event, I don't remember on the day if he was. I think he was going pretty light, damage protection wise. So what's Joey trying to do here? He's trying to set up. He's got an Aesop Sander, but he's looking for wild side. He's looking for pancakes, I suppose. He has no rig. As we see, Dave uses Sansan to score an Astro. Obviously, it has no clot either on the Street Peddler. That was very definitely a possibility this time.
Yeah. I mean, Joey's trying to maintain even parity in terms of money so that he doesn't get tagged to hell and lose all his economy and his draw and everything, which is based around Aesops and wild side adjusted chronotype.
Yes, that's right. So he's going to be worried about the possibility of mid-seasons, I suppose. So yes,
there might be a C-Source, but probably a mid-seasons.
And even if there is C-Source, he'll need, if he has more money than the Corp.
He needs to trash this Sansan, really.
Yeah.
Because Sansan breaking news into kill is pretty terrifying with an Astro token.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So he's installed medium and he's having a look at R&D instead. He does have 2 clicks left this turn. So be interesting to see what he does. I mean, he does have the money to trash the Sansan. Having said, you want to trash Sansan. Having said that, he does have money.
Imp, right?
So installing Imp, he's got a click left. I mean, yeah, I think running the Sansan, trashing the Sansan's a good idea. There is an Astro token already gone, so you haven't turned off the fast advance.
Yeah, it's more the potential for install breaking news, score it with an Astro token on the Sansan, and then Scorch or Traffic Accident Scorch.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. because of course you can score a breaking news for no clicks.
Yeah, well, for just the install click.
For just the install click with the Sansan and the Astro. So something good to think about what he's going to do on this 4th click, having installed the medium and the imp this turn and run R&D once. He's going to run HQ on 4 then.
Okay. With no way of breaking ice.
That's right, he's got an imp, so it's Data Raven, which is immediately worrying. Now it's click 4, so Joey doesn't want to tag, right? So he jacks out, yeah. So I guess he was trying to work out if he thought there were kill pieces in hand, because being able to imp them out of hand.
Well, now Dave doesn't have enough credits to kill him.
Yes, that's true.
But actually, he did with the traffic accident.
But he's going to score another Astro.
I really think Joey needed to trash the Sansan there.
Yeah.
Because now he has 2 Astro tokens.
That's right, yes. And it depends. I mean, even if you trash the Sansan now, it's kind of... Okay, well, that's a good imp target, right? Oh, okay, so he doesn't...
Well, he might just install another virus and mill it away.
Yes, no, you make a good point. So he saw a Scorched Earth in the Eli, so... he didn't... I mean, he obviously... I'm assuming he's obviously going to have viruses in hand, so you're right. Kind of targeted mill with install is good. Instead he's going to run R&D again, and he's going to win this time. So maybe I thought about it. So an Eli and... mystery card, which I didn't catch because of the angle Dave held out. But that medium's accruing counters and R&D is undefended. I mean, at this point, Joey can prevent Dave from drawing any cards that he doesn't want him to draw.
Yeah, I mean, this is the point where a purge really doesn't seem that great because you don't have any ice on.
Yeah, on R&D. I mean, unless that face down remote is a CVS, which really, I guess I'm assuming it's Jackson, but that might be optimistic for Dave.
Typically, you want to ice up and then purge.
So we're going to see an Eli, we're going to see 2 mystery cards, which I didn't catch. But then we see a traffic accident, which he did not... oh no, he'd already used the in this time. But he might come back for that, as we see Mars put on R&D. Possibly the Eli, that's what Dave just top decks.
He's got three credits, that's a pretty good call.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable.
There's no data sucker out, so it's going to be a pain.
Yeah, that's right. It's a pretty reasonable assumption. If you had ice, you probably wouldn't have solved it before.
I mean, maybe you go and you click through here as Joey. You make him spend all his money to res it. You see some more cards.
Yeah.
You give him another piece.
I think so. I think you do. You're going to access 5 cards. So I think 3 clicks for 5 accesses is a reasonable exchange.
Well,
you've got far more money as well. 5
accesses and you leave Dave on no credits.
That's right. He's got... Yeah, that's right. You're going to force the res. He's got...
The Sansan's kind of irrelevant now because of the 2 Astro tokens. So you can
it really is. I mean, if it comes to it, Dave can walk out an NAPD or something.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, and that's a very real threat.
He's probably running. He might be running Exploder-Palooza in this deck.
Yeah, right. So yeah, even a non-3/2. I mean, yeah.
So here we go. Joey's gonna install 2 viruses.
Yeah, so he's gonna install 2 viruses for mills. So he's gonna mill the 2 cards we didn't see.
So if you installed 1 there and then ran through the Eli, you could see a bunch.
So
but
you
Dave's
saw traffic accident, yeah. So you can see a bunch of stuff. Only a couple of which saw. So we saw traffic accident, which he didn't imp. Again, he might have considered it. Maybe he expected he might see another Scorch. I mean, leaving the traffic accidents is kind of okay.
I think you want to imp the traffic accident if you've got I've had worse, but I don't think Joey has it. So.
Yeah. So we saw traffic accident. He did see a mid-seasons, which he also didn't imp. Again, they would have been both good imp targets and a restructure.
I feel like Dave is getting let off the hook a little bit by Joey there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I mean, the fact that...
at some point, Dave is going to purge.
Yeah, and I think he should soon.
And then Joey's going to lose the imp token anyway.
There's a clot on the table. It will clear medium.
This is a time to do it. He's got 9 credits now. He can res the ice on R&D.
Yeah, I think so. I think I agree. So, having run a couple of times, Dave's will res the Eli now. This is the first click of this turn for noise for Joey. So he does res the Eli. I think that's reasonable. He's got the money now.
Yeah. He can still threaten the kill.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he breaks it. He does click twice to break, so he's going to access 6 cards. This is mid-season.
So this is on top, which is kind of interesting.
Which means he's about to draw it. Yeah, I mean, so what's he hoping to see here? He's hoping to see an agenda later in this dig, though, right? So
yeah,
I mean, he's got more money at the moment.
He does have more
so
money
maybe that's
Dave,
it.
So he's okay at the moment.
So he actually aims to restructure, which is an interesting choice.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's good gain. I'm going to see some mystery cards that I can catch. And Joe does still breaking news. So
that's an important steal.
Right, because as you already mentioned,
this is the tagging mechanism.
He can walk it out.
One of the main tagging mechanisms for this deck.
So he's got a click spare.
So Joey gets away and manages to use the imp token before the purge. I think maybe Dave purges here and then starts to reassess his board.
I think that's reasonable. He's going to draw the mid-seasons as well, so he might be tempted, but he's down on money, so he can't play it now. He's going to have to wait.
He can't play it.
Yeah. It's interesting. So he does purge. So Clot's going to go away as well, which would have.
So Joey's just going to sell the imp, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. It's interesting that he doesn't have wild sides. He's transitioned. So he's transitioned very quickly into an R&D pressure. Is that a matchup dependent decision? Because
I don't play a lot of noise, so I don't know.
Okay.
But
I feel like
you need, if you've got no protection, you have to try and stop them getting a combo.
Yeah, and I feel like noise against maybe a slower opponent would build up a bit, get down the resources, get down wild side.
Checking this remote.
He's can check it. Here's a Jackson.
Yes, he gets rid of the Jackson.
So flushing out the Jackson is good as well. It'll also give him fresh looks if he wants to run into R&D now, which I think is quite reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much longer he wants to be clicking through this EI for one, certainly for one card.
It's going to be one access, yeah, that's true. It's less worth it now. But in theory, I mean, I don't know how effective his milling was, but in theory, there's going to be
a higher agenda density.
More agendas gone on, yeah. So three face down cards were returned. So
none
of the imped, none of the imped cards were returned.
I mean, I wonder if Dave is just hoping to get away with a fast win here.
Is it interesting as well that Joey ran?
So he does run through the Eli?
Yeah, he does, and he sees Data Raven. Is it interesting that Joey ran the Jackson and not Archives? Because they could still be gens in Archives.
I mean, nowadays, was Data from Destiny legal for this?
That is.
Because if it was, then you don't run Archives because you just hit a bunch of news teams.
I think it wasn't. I think it was pre-Data Destiny.
Nowadays, it's almost always strictly better to run the Jackson if it's uniced.
Yes.
Because then you don't risk hitting any, anything ludicrous in the bin.
Well, I mean, he might be worried about.
Well, Joey has been known to hit TGTBT's last click and so on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And they could. I mean, and if he was running, Dave could easily have left one there.
It's a much safer decision if you have an open Jackson to run the Jackson.
So another Data Raven on Central. So it's taxing for Noise to get through. So how does Noise get through Data Raven? Is it parasiting?
Yeah, I think that's the answer. Parasite and Mimic. Data Suck and Mimic.
Data Suck and Mimic, sure. Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to get into R&D, to be honest. Joey might just sell the medium now.
But you don't want the tags either. So,
no, exactly. He might just sell the medium and just keep milling.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Archives is still undefended, so...
It's nice, in the game that there's a runner that can get R&D pressure without ever having to go through a server.
Yeah, well... Okay, so... now, he's got the upper hand here. Now, Dave has 2 more agenda points, and that's how you win the game. And he does have 2 Astro tokens.
I think this
game's
got
less
finally
money.
Balanced.
Yeah, I mean, Joe's keeping up very good pressure on Centrals. He's now letting cards through, so Dave is now drawing cards.
Joe's can't get through this Data Raven without...
Joe's going to run through the Trace.
Well, he can beat the Trace, actually, and then remove the tag, but he'll quickly run out of money.
Yeah, he can beat the Trace, so Dave doesn't boost it.
But that's his whole turn with clicking through the Eli.
Yes. He's going to see a breaking
news. He gets another breaking news.
And an Explodapalooza. That's quite incredible.
That's kind of a big deal here.
Yeah, so he's now 5-4 up, so he in theory only needs 1 more access. I guess there might be more 1-pointers.
I mean, depending on
breaking news.
Joey has to clear this tag.
He should clear the tag, you'd think, and he does.
But this leaves Joey scarily in range of something like a restructure mid-season, something like that, or a hedge restructure mid-season.
Yeah, that is a
sweeps.
That is a
something
risk.
Mid-season, anything like that.
Yeah, that is a risk.
That's the beauty of the Explodapalooza in this deck over the NAPD. So here comes the restructure.
Indeed, you do get a
we
restructure.
know Dave's got the mid-seasons.
Yeah, we saw him draw it because he didn't get imped. So he's going to play. He's doing some maths. He does have a mid-seasons, and he will play the mid-seasons, but he's having doing some maths first. There's the actual mid-seasons.
So if you don't play it now, it's kind of wasted. So we'll see how much he dumps into this.
So he's 16 up, so he can land 4 tags, or he can keep some money. Be interesting to see which way he goes. He can't land a lot of tags, and he can't land so many tags that
final. He might leave himself with 2 credits here.
Yes.
So final click, he can then trash the ESOPs, which is Joey's main way of gaining money.
So he boosts by 8 to attempt to land 14 tags. He keeps 3 credits, and Joey will take
a lot of tags.
14 tags because he is he's brave or stupid. He needs 2 more points. So there's.
So is that? I think I just saw a Utopia shard in Joey's hand.
Now he does have a Utopia shard in hand. We've seen him shuffle it a little bit. So now that's interesting. If there's a kill,
can't kill him, or if Dave doesn't go for the kill this turn, you run HQ, you take a tag off the Data Raven, and you install the Utopia shard and pop it to try and get rid of the kill pieces.
Yes, I think that's exactly what you do. So he installs the Lamprey. So now that he doesn't care about tags, Data Raven's blank, which is good. So he's going to run.
Here comes the Utopia shard.
And there's the Utopia shard.
I think you have to pop it, otherwise Dave will trash it next turn.
I think so. Lamprey fires as well, which is now Lamprey's going to be quite useful, and he's going to access this time. See who's going to get. See source, okay, that's fine.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, that's okay.
But so interesting I think he's got to 4 note cards that Dave's also running C source, right? As well as
in faction, might have won. Who knows?
Yeah, well, no, it's well worth it because if they think they're safe with a film critic, for example.
Yeah. Okay, so Utopia Shard's going to fire. He's going to do it on the way into Archives. And let's see what you hit. Scorch. Another Scorch. And a bunch of stuff. So he did hit 2 Scorches out of hand with the Utopia Shard.
Pretty relevant here.
So he hit
traffic accident and then just some money cards.
James, you're missing the whole point. He just hit 2 Scorches out of hand with the Utopia Shards when he's floating tags. That's perfect.
It is good.
There's 2 cards left in HQ. One of them's a Sea Source, which is now blank. So Dave's now got a definite uphill battle. He does have Astro Tokens kicking around and a Sansan, which is still there, still rezzed. So he can still score.
At this point, his only real relevant piece of ice is the Eli.
But that's right. He needs to prevent Jerry from accessing probably one agenda. Depends what his rig is. Okay.
What's that? Sweeps?
It was a sweeps. He's showing Jerry a sweeps. I mean, it seems reasonable. Because I think Joe's only got 3 cards in hand. So if he'd drawn a Scorch, if he top decked a Scorch somehow, then he won't be able to credit Scorch.
Redundant Data Raven is gone.
Yeah. So he's replaced the HQ Ice. Reasonable. He's taking the credit as well. So it is a Quandary, which will keep Joe out for now, but not for very long. And click 2 and 3 and 4. He's going to run R&D.
I think Dave's in real trouble now.
Stuff. Yeah, he is. And there's game in fact. So it was a slightly crazy game. I mean, so Dave got 2 early Astros. That's threatening. And he had the red Sansan. Joey didn't worry too much about the Sansan. He didn't trash it. But he decided to get an early R&D lock. Pulled some agendas. And tried to hit the combo pieces he could and keep the money up.
Joey was careful enough to keep his money up there, yeah.
Yes. I think he was always above Dave, even when he took the agendas. And
Dave, he just wasn't far enough ahead.
Yeah, Dave very wisely kept a restructure in hand. Obviously, a great strategy.
All the good players do.
Yeah, great strategy. You can do mid-seasons. So he played restructure into mid-seasons. So, yeah, I mean, it could have gone very differently. The Utopia Shard had to hit both Scorches, I think. I think Joey had 3 cards in hand.
Then, yes,
so
Joey was fortunate.
So he had to hit both Scorches, and he did. So...
I mean, that's one of the main uses for that card. I mean, it's easily seen the most play out of the 3 shards.
And I think that might have been his...
probably his only protection.
Yeah, I think that and Imp might have been his only kind of concessions to the fact that people might try and kill him. Because, as we both mentioned earlier, I'm fairly certain there was no damage prevention, I should say, in that deck. There was no Plascreets for sure. I don't think I've had worse either.
If you're not running I've had worse, you're not running Plascrete. I mean... Yeah. I don't think there's any particular reason to run the Plascrete over the I've had worse in some ways.
Yes.
The I've had worse is just so much better in matchups where they're not trying to kill you.
Yeah, so was Dave unlucky?
Maybe a little bit.
He didn't have any ice early on.
He was quite...
It might be low ice.
Quandary is not great against Parasite.
Yeah.
if he'd have scored that profiteering and taken 15 credits, that would have been a completely different game.
That's true. If he got that profiteering through, and now we don't know what his starting hand was, but he obviously drew fairly early, at least one, possibly two scorches. Yeah. So I think you're right. If he has a profiteering, suddenly it's very different. You know, if he was he drew the mid-season later. Joey saw it and didn't imp it. Was that an interesting decision, not imping the mid-seasons?
When Joey was well ahead on money, then he didn't need to imp it, and the decision he made was to imp the restructure underneath it, so that he felt he could stay ahead on money for longer.
Yeah.
So yeah, an interesting decision that in the end did pay off for Joey.
Yeah. And I guess being ahead of money meant that he could also walk through the data ravens. I mean, he couldn't. Dave could have put some money in to tax Joey, but it would have been, no,
you're just throwing away your money at that point.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. I'm proud of Joey. He beat the 2014 UK national champion, and I mean, I've never had the opportunity to play Dave. I know you have.
I've been stomped by Dave.
He is a most intimidating opponent to play against. I'm told.
He is.
But Joey came through it. Well done,
I was told by Chris Dye yesterday that Dave Hoyland has superpowers.
Yes. So yesterday was the Brighton Store Championships. So,
55 people. Yeah. So, just another average-sized UK Store Championships.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good turnout. Okay, so, that was good. In our next video, we're going to see footage from the round 3 of elimination. We're going to see Andrew Zensis piloting his Gabe deck.
Excellent.
Against Laurie's NEH. I don't think we've seen Laurie's NEH yet today, although I did see Laurie, who's also playing a Gabe deck. So I'm not sure what flavour of NEH it is. Something we'll have to work it out fairly quickly.
If I had a hunch, I'd guess that Laurie would be on the fast advanced train. But
he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's.
He seems like he would be happy to play both.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And whichever he thought was stronger, basically.
Yeah. And of course, this is back in the day when you could fit both in.
Yeah. There's no way he's running both Scorch and Biotic Labour though.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
Okay. All right. So, what do you think about that? I mean, now, do you know much about Zensis Gabe deck?
I think he's running Drug Dealer and Fast.
I think so. Drug Dealer Fast.
I think that was what he was running on the day.
Yeah. I believe you're right. So,
I think that's got a very strong NEH matchup actually.
Yeah,
against Fast as well.
Because it can set up quick and
the drug dealer. The drug dealers also keep your hand size relatively high, assuming you're not chucking away too many cards for Fast.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Okay, great. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you, James, for helping me out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.